So hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Ames's Corner. How you all doing out there? So it's a gorgeous day after a hard day at work, and I figured it'd be a nice time to go for a little adventure. So we're out here in my backyard. Look, you can tell this is my backyard. Just happens to be right on the Merrimack River. Got my little private beach here, which is kind of small because it's high tide going out or coming in. It's high tide. Usually the beach is way down there, but whatever. So anyways, yeah, you guys, some of you might remember last summer we went on that little adventure and found that wooden wheeled car in the river. So it would appear that for as long as cars have been on the road, they've been being dumped in this river. Every couple of years, the towns here, Haverhill, Methuen's a little further up, and Lawrence a little further up north, upriver that way, which is the way we'll be going. They'll pull some of the cars out of the river. They'll have a couple divers come in and they'll go see what they can find. And it's interesting because even though it might be a few miles up that the cars get dumped, parts of them end up coming down, and whole cars end up coming down the river to here. The Merrimack River is one of the most treacherous and fastest flowing rivers in the East. It's the river that the United States Coast Guard was founded here. Station number 1 is about 10 miles down near the mouth of the river in Newburyport. So yeah, I figured it'd be a good time to come out here because I think I saw something on the riverbank a couple days ago. It was low tide. I couldn't quite get to the riverbank. It was kind of rocky and treacherous. But I saw something that tells me there's something pretty amazing lost in this river. But I think we should actually take a little trip around and see if we can find some other stuff, because I found some other interesting little doodads here and there. So first place we're going to go is actually right across the river over there, because I think I found another part of that wooden wheeled car, and it might help us ID that car. And then maybe we'll take a little ride up. The tide might be a little too high to see the wooden wheeled car, but I'm sure it's still there. We'll see if we can see that, and a couple other cool things to look at. Guys, so I'm over here on the other side of the river. There's my beach over there, and here is this fender that I noticed the other day out here. Now I don't think it's to a wood wheel car. It looks too new for that, but still rather interesting. Looks like it's the whole front end. Well, it's definitely been here a while, boys. Definitely been here a while. Or maybe this is a wood wheel. This would have been, look at it. This would have been the whole radiator, surround, right fender, right headlight. It's older than I thought it was when I first looked at it. Very interesting. Any of you guys recognize that radiator support? That's got to be a giveaway to somebody who knows these cars. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah, anybody know what I'm looking at? Because I sure don't. It's a little before my time. But, like I said, as long as cars have been driving on the roads, they've been getting dumped into this river. And that's an oldie right there for sure. Yeah, if you guys have any clue, leave it down in the comments. Look, this would have been where the spare tire was. This would have been that spare tire well. That's going to be a dead giveaway to one of you guys. Going to know right what I'm looking at there, huh? Alright, so the wooden wheel, the rest of the car, is buried right over there. So why don't we pack up and let's go over and see if we can see that wood wheel and what's left of the frame. That's a lot older than I thought it was. Interesting, boys, interesting. Alright guys, I'm over here on the other side of the river. That fender was, I don't know if you can see the dock way over, that's where the fender was, and the rest of what I believe is that car with the wooden wheels is right under where I am right now. Unfortunately, the tide is just too high and the water is way too murky right now to even see it. I can't even see it myself, or I can just barely see the outline. I've got some old footage from when we found this car before, so maybe I'll splice that in. And there is the wheel, one wheel. Now there was another wheel oh, 8 feet that way. That's the wheel I got, which was the front. The bolt had rotted off the axle, and I was able to just get it off the axle. I believe this car is buried. The front that way, the back this way. That would be a rear wheel attached to something. I'm not sure what that would go to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 spokes. Is that 12 spokes wooden wheel? I'm up here at the beach here, the nicest beach on this area of the river. Real soft, easy walking sand. Another interesting thing about this beach, right up the hill and a little up the ways there is the Dunkin' Donuts donut factory. So it smells like fresh baked hot sweet donuts. I kind of give this beach the nickname Sweet Beach because I'm smelling the honey dip. I'm smelling the honey dip pretty hard. But yeah, the reason I stop here is because of this. Anybody know what that is? I mean, other than a car door, obviously. Come on, you guys know what kind of door that is, right? That would be the left rear door to a blue Ford Focus. Yep. Now, the interesting thing about this door, because what's so interesting about a junk Focus door, is that there was actually an article in the newspaper, not last summer, the summer before, where, like I had mentioned, they sometimes clean out all the junk in the river. They take all the cars out. Took a round of cars out, and one of those cars was a blue Ford Focus missing its left rear door. And somehow, for some reason, that car the door ended up here. It, tore off the car or whatever. The river ripped the door off, and this seems to be where that ended up. It seems like wherever that car was dumped, the parts end up here. So wherever that car there was dumped, other cars were dumped too. Well, if you look way across the river, I know this camera has a real short focal area, but you'll see that yellow thing in the river. That's something I couldn't get to the other day, but it looks like something very, very interesting to me. So yeah, why don't we say farewell to the boring old Focus store. Let's go take a look at something that I think is going to be really interesting. Well, alright everybody, that was a trip. We got the kayak down there. I'm up here on the bank because it's mighty treacherous down there. What I had to grab was actually down there. There was no place to stop and take a look at it. But yeah, this unassuming piece of fiberglass right here drew my attention from a long way away. Does anybody know what that is? Take a good look at the NACA duct and the ducting here, the venting here, and the other little kitcher somewhere on one of these pots. Here it is. That there. You know what that is, right? Left front louver, Pentastar, 99.98. So, anybody know what this is yet? An NACA duct. That's a hood to a car. This would be the top of the left fender well. This would be a ducting, a louver for the air that a wheel would circulate and move. That there, my friends, is the hood to what apparently is a 98, 99, 2000 yellow Dodge Viper in the river. There is a Dodge Viper somewhere in the Merrimack River. So wherever that Ford Focus, which is over that door, if you can see the blue thing there, is the Ford Focus door. We got the wood wheel car about a little less than a mile that way. You guys can actually, if you look hard, you can see the dock where the fender is. And then we have a Dodge Viper hood. So somewhere in this river, upriver that way, that's 495. That's the 495 bridge. That's the Covanta trash incinerator plant there. So somewhere north of here, more than less likely, wherever that Ford Focus over there was dumped, there's a Dodge Viper. Now, I mean, by the look of this hood, there's not going to be a whole lot of usable stuff on the car, but man, what a cool wall hanger a Dodge Viper rim would be. I wonder, you know, any kind of emblems or any distinguishable dash pieces would be pretty cool. Pretty cool. Something that doesn't really belong in the river is in the river. And somewhere there's a Dodge Viper. So I guess I have to do a little research, figure out where that Focus over there was dumped. I'm gonna have to go back and look at the article and see if I can get any information. But yeah, we might have to go take a little looky-loo and see if we can find the rest of that car. Well, anyways, guys, if you can look at the ripples in the river, the tide's coming out, and this is going to start ripping pretty quick, and I got to get out of here. I'm going to get stuck up here. So anyways, boys, kind of a little bit of a neat adventure on a nice warm day after work, and until next time, keep it out of the cabbage.